What's good, people? Welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Elijah, and I have 60 days to pull off the impossible. So this video, I'm going to be talking a little bit about how I hope to take my Airbnb project to the next level. So if you've seen my channel, you've seen that I was able to get into a property in the past couple months. I've launched on Airbnb and I've had 2 successful months so far, but I'm basically breaking even, right? So how can I take this property to the next level? How can I add some profit margins for myself and for the long term? So today I'm going to be talking about my Pergola hot tub project. Essentially, how am I going to accomplish this in 60 days? What do I need to do? Who do I need to be on my team? And how can I execute on this thing so that way we can scale? First thing I'm going to talk about is the permit. So I need to get a permit from the city of Skokie in Illinois. I need to let them know what I'm trying to accomplish and show them the plan of how this is going to be executed. So in order to get this done, I need a construction plan. I need a site plan, I need a contractor list, and then I need a survey of the land. So the first thing, the construction plan essentially is going to tell the city, what type of materials we're going to use, how we're going to use these materials, and how we're going to go about building this thing. The second thing is the site plan. And this basically tells the city where on my property am I going to be making this addition? Where is this pergola going to sit? The third thing on the list is the contractor list. And essentially this tells the city who is going to be involved with the electricity work, who is going to be involved with the installation of the pergola itself, and who's going to be involved with any other additions or fixes that needs to be done on this property. Essentially, they just want to know who and what is happening. So that way, if anything happens or anything comes up in the future, they have public data of what happened so that way they can go back and fix issues or address them if they need to. The last thing that I mentioned was the survey of the land. And the survey of the land is basically public record, so that piece is already done. And I'm gonna show, I have the site plan already, so you can kind of see right here where this pergola is going to sit in my house. And I'll show you, the site plan itself, but then I'm gonna show you the actual property so you can see what it would look like in real life. So that's the permit. That's the first big hurdle you have to get over, because once you get that approval, that means you can go ahead and complete this project, or at least you can start. The next thing you got to do then, or you can do this in parallel too, which is what I've been doing, is I need to get quotes from multiple different builders and multiple different electricians. Essentially, we have to run an electric line from my circuit breaker all the way outside, dig underground, put this cable and make sure it's waterproof and all that jazz because it's outdoors. Run this cable line with an outlet that's GFCI, kind of protected. So if any water spills into the electricity, there's no issues and conflicts there. So essentially sort of like a waterproof system. You can kind of think about it like. So gonna run the electricity line outside so that way we can power everything in the back, the hot tub, the lights, the pergola, etc. And then we need to actually make the pergola. So way this is going to work, in my understanding today, is we have soil outside of the house right now. So we're going to put concrete blocks, 4 pieces of concrete blocks that are huge. We're gonna put them into the soil, and then we're going to drill this pergola, which is going to be made out of wood or some type of makeshift type wood. And then the other idea is we could build a deck below the pergola. So it's going to be a wooden deck, and this wooden deck is also going to sit on some concrete inside the soil. So that way it's a strong foundation, because we're not trying to just drill the pergola into the soil and then when the weather gets crazy and changes, freezes, melts, the pergola is going to be shifting and fall on the ground. And we don't want that to happen. So essentially what we're going to do is instead we're going to put concrete block, and that way when the weather, freezing and melting happens with the weather, we don't have any issues with the pergola shifting over time. So after this pergola is built on top of this deck, then we're going to be inserting the hot tub inside of it. And you're gonna see an inspiration photo of what this is supposed to look like in the future. And then once I get quotes from multiple different builders, I can then gauge, how are they gonna do this project, right? And essentially there are 3 factors I'm considering when I'm going to be choosing who does this project for me. The first thing is speed of execution. So my Airbnb got a lot of guests in different times. So I want to know, how long is this going to take? Is it going to inconvenience any guests that I have lined up? So that's one factor. The second factor is price. How much is it going to cost me to pay you to do this work? Essentially, the materials is one cost, the hot tub itself, the pergola materials, and all those things. And then labor is another cost. How much are you charging me, for your time and helping me do this project? The third thing is the quality of the build, right? How is the material that you're going to be using for this pergola? Is it going to be a really good quality material? And also the installation itself. How are you installing this thing? Is it a really high quality installation? I don't want to deal with any damages, in a year or two because we install this thing, wrong. So these are my 3 factors that I'm going to be using to figure out who's going to build this project out for me. But once I've got all of those things figured out in the matrix bubble, and this is going to be done by me, I'm going to spend a lot of time on the phone talking to multiple different builders. Friends of mine have also reached out to me and told me, hey, this is somebody you should check out that I've worked with in the past. So I'm really, pursuing those leads as well. After all is said and done with the pergola and the situation of the builder and the electrician is figured out who's going to build it and who's going to run the electricity line, then essentially I can just buy this hot tub from Costco, get it shipped in, and then get the guys to help me basically put it inside the pergola because that's just where it's going to sit. And then I'm going to run some string lights all the way from the deck that I already have down to the pergola and around it and then back to the house. So that way, it's a pleasant, nice vibe, especially at night, because when you're going out there, you don't want it to be dark by the hot tub. So, it's going to be a nice, pleasant vibe, and it's going to be really nice for people, especially in the winter. I'm thinking of my winter guests. I want you guys to be able to enjoy the outdoors as well. We have a fireplace, where people can kind of sit and hang out, but also, it would be really nice to have something else to kind of bring more life to the backyard, because the backyard is really huge. So it'd be nice if you guys could also use and enjoy that space. So I want to make sure, that's high on my priority to get this out before the end of December. My target is actually 60 days from now, so that kind of puts us mid-December. So I'm really hoping to push this project out. And what is the outcome of this potentially, right? This could potentially help the property gain $50 to $100 per night on a winter and slow kind of season, because demand is a lot lower, but then $100 a night on the weekends and then $50 a night on the weekdays. But then the flip side of this is in very, very high demand seasons like summer, if this property is going to be standing out, it could help this property on the weekdays by $100 a night, and then on the weekends, $150 to even $200 a night, depending on the demand at the time. I really want to stand out in this market, and I think having this amenity is going to do that because it's going to attract more people. I've seen a lot of families have moved in to my place, or at least stayed with me. So it's usually around 4 to 6 guests, and it's either 2 parents or 4 parents. So essentially, we're going to be bumping the price from $200 a night to anywhere from $300 to $400, depending on the demand. But let's say $300 to be kind of reasonable. And that's basically changing the price by $50 per guest. Or at least per adult guest, because these guys tend to have kids, so they come with, roughly like 2 or 4 adults will come, and then 2 kids or even 3 kids sometimes. So my place usually takes 6 guests. So hopefully, this is not too egregious, especially when you're adding, a fun, interesting amenity that people can bond around and also enjoy spending time in. So this is my goal, this is my plan, and this is what I want to execute in the next 60 days. So I'm starting the clock now. Essentially, this is going to be the way that I can level up this property and go from breaking even to generating profits. And then in the long term, hopefully this house can pay for itself and pay me for my time. Anyway, it was your boy Elijah. I really hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you're looking forward to the next one, because I'm hoping to build more projects out like this and kind of share with you, where my head's at in terms of the way I think about the different projects and why I'm trying to execute on them in certain ways. And then let me know if you're working on anything similar, or if you know any builders out in Chicago that will be willing to help me. Let me know, send me some photos or send me an email of things they've worked on, because if you have any referrals, I would love them, because I need more people and more quotes and more ideas of how this project is going to end up. Again, I said I want to kind of knock this out in 60 days, so jump on that. If you are watching this and you're interested, let me know. Anyways, your boy Elijah, I hope you enjoyed this one, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.